Hi everyone, it's Karen from the Geordie Grandma. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to an update video of my Slimpod weight loss journey. Now you might have watched a video, I've done a couple of videos now. I think I did a one where I talked about my weight loss struggles over the years and how I was going to start Slimpod, and then I gave you an update I think on week 7 and I told you that I'd lost £6. And I've now just completed 12 weeks of Slimpod, so I thought it was time for an update because I am shocked at what this has done. So I've got my cup of coffee, my Hello Autumn coffee, and I've got some pumpkin spice coffee here. I'm feeling very autumnal. I've actually got my little pumpkin earrings in as well, and a nice orangey blue jumper which feels very autumnal. And if you've seen my video the other day, you'll know where I got the jumper from. So I thought we'd just have a nice chatty catch up on what's happening. So just to recap, I'm 62. I have yo-yo dieted since I was roughly 20, probably earlier than that, but definitely from the age of 20, where I've tried every diet under the sun. I probably wasn't even fat when I was 20. I think when I got married at 24, I was 9.5 stone. I wasn't even fat. The highest weight I've ever been was 19 stone 1. That was probably about 15 years ago. And I've gone up and down. I was around the 16, so I was 16 stone 1 when I started on the Slimpod. I've been down to, I think I got down as low as 12 stone at one point a few years back, but it's always just gone back on. I've tried Slimming World, I've tried Weight Watchers, I've tried counting calories, I've tried low carb, I've tried keto, I've tried everything. And while I was on the diets, they did work, I lost weight, but as soon as you stop the diet, you go back to the weight 8 before and the weight went back on plus more. So I've yo-yo dieted for over 40 years. And when I was about, I think I was about 47, 48, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I've been very bad. I haven't controlled it very well. And I started off trying to control it with diet. That didn't work. I didn't take it seriously enough, which was really bad. And I ended up on medication. I'm on 2 different kinds of medication, both tablets, not insulin, but that has gone up and down as well, and it hadn't been very well controlled. And then I decided that I would like to try Mounjaro. Couldn't get it. I couldn't get it from my GP because I didn't meet the criteria. You had to meet 4 different criteria and I didn't. I couldn't get it from an online pharmacist because I was diabetic and you need to be monitored. Yes, I could have tried different ones, but I just felt like if I wasn't being monitored, then I wasn't really comfortable in taking it. So I couldn't do Mounjaro. So I kind of was at the end of my rope, and I found something online. I actually Googled something online, and if you've watched my video before about weight loss struggles, you'll know what I did. I Googled something that would do the same as Mounjaro but without the Mounjaro. So the effect of turning off the food noise and making us not think about food. And what I discovered was something called Slimpod. Now, I've been a binge eater over the years, not in the fact that I will stuff my face to the point of feeling sick, but I will, if I've bought a pack of 6 crisps, I'll eat all 6 packets. If I've bought a packet of biscuits, I can't stop at 1. You know, if I'm bored, because I'm an emotional eater, but every emotion, if I'm bored, if I'm happy, if I'm stressed, I'll sit and I'll pick. I've been known to have Weetabix for my tea, or mid-morning I have some Weetabix and some toast and some biscuits and then maybe some crisps and just sit and eat. So I never thought I was going to get that under control. Now, Slimpod isn't a diet, as in, well, it's not a diet. There's no eating plan. Like when you're on Slimming World or Weight Watchers, or even low carb, something like that, There's a kind of guideline to what you should eat. There's like food you're supposed to eat, food you're not supposed to eat, how many sins you can have, how many calories you should have. You don't eat these carbs, you eat so many grams of this. There was none of that, no diet. And I just thought, I don't know if this is going to work. But what it is it's a thing that was devised by somebody called Sandra Roycroft Davis, who is, I think she is a psychologist, and she's got a practice in Harley Street, but don't quote me on that. I think, but she did have experience in the field. And what it is it is a series of, so it's a 12-week program. It's called Slimpod Gold, and it's a 12-week program where every week a batch of, I think it's 5 videos are released to you every week, that each week the videos they're only maybe 6 to 10 minutes long each video, and they're talking about different aspects of eating problems and things like that. So I've got some notes jotted down so I don't forget what I want to say. And the videos cover such things as creating healthy habits, healthy eating made simple. So she does give you guidelines that the Mediterranean way of eating is a really healthy way of eating, but there is no kind of, guide, this is what you should eat. There was topics on how sugar hijacks your brain and belly, and one about the perils of insulin resistance, which I found really fascinating. And I feel like if that had been explained to me in that way when I was first diagnosed with diabetes, I may have looked at it differently. I can't say for definite, but I may have done. There was topics on how to beat the blips. So if you do, have a little bit of a bump, then that was a good video to watch. Breaking stubborn habits, because over 40 years you get into a lot of stubborn habits. I found the videos with Sandra really interesting and useful information, and the videos I will return to and watch them again and again. If I'm feeling that I may need a little more guidance on something, I can go back and watch them, because once you've done the 12 weeks of Slimpod Gold, you've got those videos forever. But the other thing that goes with Slimpod is something that is called the Slimpod. And these are, I think there's about 4 in total, and when you first join you get 2 of them. You don't get the other 2 until week 7. So the first 2 you get are one called Slimpod and one called Chillpod. Now these are 6-minute audios, and they are a guy called, I think his name is Trevor Sylvester. And you listen to these Slimpods. You can listen to them any time of the day. And it says it's not hypnotherapy, which I originally thought it was. It's not hypnotherapy. These audios are supposed to rewire your subconscious mind. So I did listen to them the first couple of times. I did hear what he was saying. It doesn't make a total lot of sense what he says. It's kind of, it's spoken in such a way, and he actually says this, he's not really talking to you, he's talking to your unconscious. So most of the time I'm asleep while these are playing, because I put them on every single night. I've listened to them every single night for the last 12 weeks. Put them on before I go to sleep, and I'm usually asleep halfway through the first one. So I've got the Slimpod and the Chillpod kind of playing one after the other, just once each on a night time before I go to sleep. Other people on Slimpod listen to them at different times of the day. You do not want to listen to them if you're driving or operating heavy machinery. You just don't, you'd fall asleep. So I thought, that's never going to work. What a load of kind of hokum. What's this about? So after the first couple of weeks, nothing had really happened. And then it got to the second week, and I thought, hang on a minute. I'm not thinking about food as much. And the mantra of the Slimpod is kind of eat less, move more, choose better. And that's stuck in my brain. So after 7 weeks, I'd lost 6 pounds without actually being on a diet. I mean, everybody has a diet, because that's just what you eat. It's a diet. But I wasn't on a diet. Didn't have a prescribed daily eating plan. It was just choose better, eat more healthy. So for me, the eating more healthy, I needed to cut out some carbs because I'm diabetic. Carbs are bad for me. In fact, they're not brilliant for everybody, but I needed to cut out the carbs. And I am not a medical professional, so if you need any advice on any of this stuff, please ask your doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm only giving you my experience. So I needed to cut out some carbs. I needed to cut out the binging on a night. When I was watching TV, I associated that with eating. So we'd be going to Aldi, we'd be buying crisps, we'd buy chocolate. I was constantly buying cake. I would sit and pick on a night. And usually around 10:30 in the morning when I was having a cup of coffee, or 2:30 in the afternoon when I was having a cup of coffee, I'd associate that with biscuits, and I wouldn't stop at one. So it would be a cup of coffee and half a packet of biscuits. I needed to cut that out, and I've never been able to do that before. So when I was doing Weight Watchers or calorie counting or Slimming World, I'd count those biscuits and the chocolate in the crisps into what I was having. So I was never cutting them out. I was just adding them in as like a sin. And I feel for me, I would rather just be able to cut them out altogether, because if I have one, I just can't stop. That for me is what I was hoping it would do. And after 7 weeks, it had started to do that. I wasn't thinking about food. I wasn't sitting snacking. So like I said, I'd lost 6 pounds after 7 weeks, which might not seem a lot to you, because when you do Slimming World and things like that, and I'm not knocking Slimming World, there are people on Slimpod who still do those things, and that works for them. If it works for you, that's fine. I didn't want a prescribed thing like Slimming World. I just wanted to be able to eat like a normal person. If they had too much one day, they'd cut down the next day. That's what I want. So I had done this with just eating more healthy. So instead of having potatoes or pasta or rice or bread at every meal, one meal I was cutting out the carbs. I've tried to do that in the past. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But I'm trying to eat healthier. I'm trying to eat the more Mediterranean way. So, fruit and veg and fish. I don't eat meat anyway. Some olive oil, good fats, some yogurt for protein, the authentic Greek yogurt for protein. Just healthy foods, vegetables, just like normal people would eat. They'd never been on a diet. So that's what I was starting to do. It seemed like it was changing the way I was thinking about food, without actually really thinking about what I was doing. I was listening to this Trevor, as we call him, every night. And even Warren, he has him as well, because we go to bed at the same time. So he was listening to him. And I had just eat less, move more, choose better. That's all I was doing. And it was working. So I continued on, and after 12 weeks, it hadn't changed. I was still not sliding back into old habits. That's not to say I haven't had blips, because there are times, there has been days where I've had a little bit of stress, or I've been bored, and I thought, I want something to eat. And I've caught myself and I've thought, do you really want something to eat? Because the other thing about Slimpod, it tells you to be curious. That's actually what Trevor says during one of the Slimpods, be curious. So I started to ask myself questions every time I thought, why do I want something to eat? Am I hungry? 9 times out of 10, I wasn't hungry. I'd have some water. Did I still want something to eat? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. And then I think, right, I've stopped buying crisps and chocolate, so I couldn't go to them. In the past, I would go to the cereal. I don't have any of that. Do I want some toast? No, I don't want toast. So I've stopped myself in my tracks. When those thoughts come, I want to eat. I've stopped and I've thought, why? Why do I want to eat? And it's usually because I'm bored. So what I'll do is, just to satisfy, if I can't take my mind off it, I'll satisfy it with a few almonds, or I'll have an apple, or I may have a rice cake with some hummus on. So I am choosing better. I'm eating healthily. I'm not reaching for crisps and chocolate. When I go shopping now, after 12 weeks, I don't even look at the chocolate and the crisps and the biscuits. I can walk down the aisle completely not look at them. And that to me is amazing. That's unheard of. I never thought I would be able to do that. I never thought I would be able to stop wanting to snack when I was watching the telly. I just didn't think it was possible. So after 12 weeks, what exactly has the Slimpod done for us? Weight-wise, I've lost a stone. 12 weeks, 1 stone. I am more than happy with that, because I'm not on a diet. I'm eating less, moving more, choosing better. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I've maybe had 2 packets of crisps in the last 12 weeks. I know I've had 1 bar of chocolate. I think it may have been only 1. Yeah, 1 bar of chocolate. I've had a couple of slices of cake, because I've been to a couple of what we call gatherings at family houses, and it's been a birthday, and I have had a small slice of cake, but I haven't felt guilty about it. Whereas before, if I'd been on a diet, I would have thought, I've broke the diet, I need to starve the next day, I can't go back and get weighed because I put weight on. That just didn't happen. I didn't feel guilty. I thought, I had the piece of cake, very nice, I don't want any more, let's move on. And I was able to not want any more cake. So that was good. There's no guilt. And Sandra says, you can't fall off the wagon, because there is no wagon to fall off. You're not on a weight loss wagon. All you're doing is, you're going to get sick of hearing me say this, eat less, move more, choose better. And that's what I'm doing. So I've lost a stone. Very happy with that. Very, very happy. I'm trying to get out of the habit of weighing myself like every day or every other day. I'm trying to get out of that habit. But obviously, if I'm going to give you updates, I'll need to get weighed. Because I do think when you weigh yourself constantly, if you're not losing weight, you can feel downhearted. And if you put a pound on, you'll feel downhearted. Whereas I don't feel like I need to do that. I don't feel like I need to weigh myself. I feel better in myself. My clothes fit better. I feel more energetic. I'm exercising more. I was walking before and sporadically going on my exercise bike and sporadically doing an exercise video. Now I'm doing them more regularly. I still need to get a little bit better with that. I'd like to be exercising 30 minutes every day. But that's something I'm going to be working on. It's taken me 40 years to get to 15 stone that I am now. 40 years of bad habits. I'm not going to change those in 12 weeks. It's going to be a lifelong journey, if you want to say it. But it is. I don't expect to lose, 6 stone in 12 weeks. I don't expect to lose 6 stone in a year even. 1 stone in 12 weeks for me is brilliant, because I haven't been on a diet. So that was my scale win, as they call it in Slimpod. The non-scale wins, the fact that I've stopped snacking at night, that is a definite win for me. Just didn't think that would be able to happen. I'm definitely eating healthier, but I do need to work on that, because I don't like cooking. And I need to plan meals better, because if I don't plan what I'm eating, I'm not reaching for rubbish. I'm not reaching for a bowl of cereal, but I'm probably not eating as healthy as I could be. So that's something I need to work on a little bit more. But I don't feel any guilt when I do eat something, like I said, the piece of cake or the packet of crisps. I don't feel guilty. I don't worry about it. And I'm not continuing. I've had 1 packet and then I don't eat the rest. I just don't know how that's happened. I've been taking my blood sugar because I've got one of those little finger pricker things. I took my blood sugar a couple of weeks ago, and it was about an hour after I'd eaten some toast for my breakfast. So I am still having carbs, but I'm just not having a lot of carbs. My blood sugar was 5.9. I don't think it's ever been 5.9. When you're diabetic, or when you're not diabetic, when you haven't eaten any food, your blood sugar should be between 4 and 7. And when you have eaten something, it should be between 7 and 10. Mine was 5.9. That was spot on. That doesn't say that my blood sugar my diabetes is now normal or reversed or whatever you want to call it. And I need to have the 6 monthly check of the HbA1c to see what my blood sugar is doing over a period of 8 weeks, 12 weeks. And that'll give us a better gauge of how this is working for us. But it's got to be doing us some good, because I'm not eating as many carbs. I'm not eating junk food. So it's got to be doing us good. I'm not constantly thinking about food. I don't feel restricted. I feel like when I was on a diet, I did feel restricted. I thought, oh, what can I eat? I can't eat that. I can't eat this. I don't feel like that now. Even though I do choose to eat more healthy, I'm not feeling restricted. So that's just brilliant. And I'm leaving food on my plate. We occasionally do go for food when we're out and about. We went to the German doner kebab place in the Metro Centre a couple of weeks ago. I went with Warren, and he likes the German doner kebabs. And I thought, well, okay, I'll have one. I had a veggie one that comes with like a bready thing on it. And I got the fries because I thought, well, it's just as cheap to get it with the fries. I could have not got it with the fries, but I got it with the fries. I left half of the bread. I ate it's like a veggie kebab thing with salad. I ate that, and I left half of the bread, and I didn't eat the chips. I think I had a couple of chips. But I left food. That's never heard of. I don't leave food. I would stuff it in my face to the point of bursting. I'm not doing that anymore, so that is a definite win. Exercising more, feeling more energetic. Even Warren said to us when I left that kebab the other week, he said, "Where's my wife? What's happened to you?" I don't know. I feel different. And because I'm not snacking, because I'm not eating crap all the time, neither is he. He still eats it occasionally. He still likes a box of Pringles or, whatever. But he's also lost weight. He's lost half a stone. And I think that's because I think Trevor's getting through to him a little bit. The audios are getting through to him a little bit. But it's probably just because I'm not eating them, so he's not eating them. So he's lost half a stone as well. So the two other, I mentioned that you get the two Slimpod audios at the beginning, and you get two more at week 7. One of them is a Fitpod, which is a 6-minute audio. They're the same audios you listen to every night. They never change. Same audios. You get a Fitpod that is supposed to help your unconscious mind make you want to exercise more. That is the Fitpod is one that I've just slotted in recently to me nighttime listening, and occasionally I listen to that on a morning, and I do feel like that's helping because I have wanted to exercise more. There is also a one that's supposed to stop you if you've got a sweet tooth, a sugar craving one, but they did say that if you're not craving sweet stuff, then maybe don't listen to it because it can have an adverse effect. So I've never listened to that pod at all. So it's just the Slimpod, the Chillpod, and the Fitpod. The Chillpod kind of helps you if you're feeling a little bit stressed. But I don't really listen to them. I'm usually asleep when they're on. So yeah. So I will definitely be continuing with Slimpod. I've just, it's the Slimpod Gold is 12 weeks, and I've just actually subscribed to the Slimpod Extra, which is you get extra videos with extra expert advice on nutrition and health and things like that, and a Zoom call once a month with Sandra, which you don't need to sign up to that, but I felt like I was really enjoying her videos and finding it really informative that I wanted to learn more about it. So that's why I subscribed to the monthly thing as well, but it's definitely not something you have to do. If anybody would like to try a free trial of Slimpod, you can get, I think it's a 10-day free trial, and you do get the first 2 audios to listen to, the ones I listen to as you go to sleep. So if you wanted to try it, you can try it free and see if it, might work for you. It doesn't work for everybody. I'm absolutely gobsmacked that it's worked for me, but it is working for me, and I can highly recommend it. I wish I'd found this years ago. I may have avoided maybe being type 2 diabetic. I can't say that really, but you don't know. Maybe I would have. Maybe I wasn't ready at the time. Maybe that's a thing. If it doesn't work for someone, maybe you're just not ready for it. But for me, I was ready for it. It was a last-ditch attempt. So I'm so pleased it's working. So I will put the link in the description box below and in the pinned comment at the top, the link to do the 10-day free trial if you're interested. If you want to ask us any questions about it, leave them in the comments below. But remember, I'm not a medical professional. This is only my experience of doing this. So if it's anything medical related, please go to your doctor. It would be no good asking me. But I don't mind you asking us anything else. So it's probably ready to drink my tea now. It's my coffee now. It's probably just at the right temperature. It is a pumpkin spice coffee, which I find if it just goes past hot, it doesn't taste as nice. So I need to drink this one hot. So I'm going to end the video there, and I'm going to continue drinking my pumpkin spice coffee from Beanie's. Not an advert, I just love it. I like the toffee apple one better, but we thought we'd try this one. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.